Prime Minister Narendra Modi sends out a stern warning for the nation's enemies. Says India knows how to be friends but can respond with an unwavering glance at those who try to grab our land. Salutes the supreme sacrifice of soldiers in eastern Ladakh clash. Says India has given a befitting reply to those who cast an evil eye at our border. The PM says focus in Unlock 1.0 is now on defeating coronavirus and making the economy strong. Stresses on people's participation in the Vocal for Local mission. Says India has always won battles against calamities and challenges. It will reach new heights within 2020. Appeals for protecting and nurturing the environment during the monsoon season. Union Home Minister Amit Shah says India will win the battle against both the challenges of COVID-19 and China under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Attacks the Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, says it's for the Congress to reflect upon how Pakistan and China are amplifying their leaders' statements. The Home Minister also refutes all speculation related to community transmission of COVID-19 in Delhi. Says the situation in Delhi will improve on the back of testing, tracking and treatment services. Gives assurance to all Delhiites, saying the Prime Minister himself is concerned about the situation in the national capital. The Maharashtra government says lockdown to be extended in the state with some relaxations beyond the 30th of June. 14-day complete lockdown declared in Guwahati. Karnataka government also goes for complete lockdown every Sunday starting from the 5th of July. Lockdown extended in Manipur till the 15th of July as well. The nationwide recovery rate from COVID-19 climbs further to 58.56%. The number of active cases now stands at 203,000. 16,095 total fatalities. The worldwide tally of those infected by coronavirus goes beyond 1 crore. Over 4.99 lakh lose their lives. The BJP holds Jan Samvad rallies in 4 states on Sunday. Nirmala Sitharaman in West Bengal, Ravi Shankar Prasad in Chandigarh, Smriti Irani in Mumbai and Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Chhattisgarh address public events and list out the Modi government's achievements. The leaders target the Congress over the border issue. The FM hits out at the Mamata government for not implementing the central government schemes. And monsoon rains come down hard in several parts of the country. Flood situation is developing in several northeastern states and Bihar. Over 5.65 lakh people affected in 20 districts of Assam. Union Home Minister speaks to Chief Ministers of Assam and Bihar, assuring all help from the centre. The Met Department forecasts more rains for several areas in northeast and Bihar. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today shared his thoughts with the people of the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program series. From COVID-19 pandemic to Cyclone Amphan to Atmanirbhar Bharat, the PM touched upon almost all the current issues in the 66th episode of the monthly radio program.
Sharing his thoughts with people in India and abroad during his monthly radio program, Mann Ki Baat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, India is capable to protect its sovereignty and borders, paying tributes to soldiers who made supreme sacrifice in Ladakh recently. He said, a befitting reply has been given to those eyeing our territories.
लद्दाख में भारत की भूमि पर आंख उठाकर देखने वालों को करारा जवाब मिला है। भारत मित्रता निभाना जानता है तो आंख में आंख डालकर देखना और उचित जवाब देना भी जानता है। हमारे वीर सैनिकों ने दिखा दिया है कि वो कभी भी मां भारती के गौरव पर आंच नहीं आने देंगे।
Prime Minister also praised the families of martyred soldiers and said the spirit of families of martyrs is the strength of our country.
आपने देखा होगा जिनके बेटे शहीद हुए वो माता-पिता अपने दूसरे बेटों को भी, घर के दूसरे बच्चों को भी सेना में भेजने की बात कर रहे हैं। बिहार के रहने वाले शहीद कुंदन कुमार के पिताजी के शब्द तो कानों में गूंज रहे हैं। वो कह रहे थे, अपने पोतों को भी देश की रक्षा के लिए सेना में भेजूंगा। यही हौसला हर शहीद के परिवार का है। वास्तव में इन परिजनों का त्याग पूजनीय है। भारत माता की रक्षा के जिस संकल्प से हमारे जवानों ने बलिदान दिया है, उसी संकल्प को हमें भी जीवन का ध्येय बनाना है, हर देशवासी को बनाना है। हमारा हर प्रयास इसी दिशा में होना चाहिए, जिससे सीमाओं की रक्षा के लिए देश की ताकत बढ़े, देश और अधिक सक्षम बने, देश आत्मनिर्भर बने। यही हमारे शहीदों को सच्ची श्रद्धांजलि भी होगी।
Reiterating his call to go vocal for local, PM Modi has sought commitment and cooperation in building Atmanirbhar Bharat.
साथियों, कोई भी मिशन पीपल्स पार्टिसिपेशन, जन भागीदारी के बिना पूरा नहीं हो सकता, सफल नहीं हो सकता। इसलिए आत्मनिर्भर भारत की दिशा में एक नागरिक के तौर पर हम सबका संकल्प, समर्पण और सहयोग बहुत जरूरी है, अनिवार्य है। आप लोकल खरीदेंगे, लोकल के लिए वोकल होंगे, तो समझिए आप देश को मजबूत करने में अपनी भूमिका निभा रहे हैं।
India's resolve is to protect self-respect and sovereignty, and the goal is self-reliant India. The tradition of India is trust and friendship, while spirit is fraternity. PM said, "We will keep moving forwards with these ideals." Bureau Report, DD India.
And the PM also spoke on a range of issues, including Unlock 1.0 and the country's progress in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic. He hoped that 2020 will give India a new direction in this decade, as new opportunities have arisen out of the COVID challenge.
Sharing his thoughts with countrymen, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, India has come out of lockdown phase and it is now in the phase of unlock. He said many things that were kept locked for decades are now getting unlocked during this unlock phase. He said unlock period has opened new avenues of development in various sectors.
साथियों, अनलॉक के दौर में बहुत सी ऐसी चीजें भी अनलॉक हो रही हैं जिनमें भारत दशकों से बंधा हुआ था। वर्षों से हमारा माइनिंग सेक्टर लॉकडाउन में था। कॉमर्शियल ऑक्शन को मंजूरी देने के एक निर्णय ने स्थिति को पूरी तरह से बदल दिया है। कुछ ही दिन पहले स्पेस सेक्टर में ऐतिहासिक सुधार किए गए। उन सुधारों के जरिए वर्षों से लॉकडाउन में जकड़े इस सेक्टर को आजादी मिली। इससे आत्मनिर्भर भारत के अभियान को न केवल गति मिलेगी, बल्कि देश टेक्नोलॉजी में भी एडवांस बनेगा। अपने कृषि क्षेत्र को देखें तो इस सेक्टर में भी बहुत सारी चीजें दशकों से लॉकडाउन में फंसी थी। इस सेक्टर को भी अब अनलॉक कर दिया गया है। इससे जहां एक तरफ किसानों को अपनी फसल कहीं पर भी किसी को भी बेचने की आजादी मिली है, वहीं दूसरी तरफ उन्हें अधिक ऋण मिलना भी सुनिश्चित हुआ है। ऐसे अनेक क्षेत्र हैं जहां हमारा देश इन सब संकटों के बीच ऐतिहासिक निर्णय लेकर विकास के नए रास्ते खोल रहा है।
Prime Minister also spoke about the rising demand of spices like ginger and turmeric increased across the world. Prime Minister Modi said all these immunity booster products belong to India and we should help people to understand the qualities of these products.
कोरोना वायरस ने निश्चित रूप से हमारे जीवन जीने के तरीकों में बदलाव ला दिया है। मैं लंदन से प्रकाशित फाइनेंशियल टाइम्स में एक बहुत ही दिलचस्प लेख पढ़ रहा था। इसमें लिखा था कि कोरोना काल के दौरान अदरक, हल्दी समेत दूसरे मसालों की मांग एशिया के अलावा अमेरिका तक में भी बढ़ गई है। पूरी दुनिया का ध्यान इस समय अपनी इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने पर है और इम्यूनिटी बढ़ाने वाली इन चीजों का संबंध हमारे देश से है। हमें इनकी खासियत विश्व के लोगों को ऐसी सहज और सरल भाषा में बतानी चाहिए जिससे वे आसानी से समझ सकें और हम एक हेल्दियर प्लेनेट बनाने में अपना योगदान दे सकें।
PM also spoke on the importance of Ayurveda, especially during monsoon season.
मॉनसून के सीजन में कई बीमारियां भी आती हैं। कोरोना काल में हमें इनसे भी बचकर रहना है। आयुर्वेदिक औषधियां, काढ़ा, गर्म पानी, इन सब का इस्तेमाल करते रहिए, स्वस्थ रहिए।
PM appealed to everyone to protect nature and environment. He asked everyone to make and worship eco-friendly Ganesh idols on the occasion of Ganesh Chaturthi.
बारिश के मौसम में प्रकृति भी जैसे खुद को रिजुवेनेट कर लेती है, मानव प्राकृतिक संसाधनों का जितना दोहन करता है, प्रकृति एक तरह से बारिश के समय उनकी भरपाई करती है, रिफिलिंग करती है। लेकिन ये रिफिलिंग तभी हो सकती है जब हम भी इसमें अपनी धरती माँ का साथ दें, अपना दायित्व निभाएं। हमारे द्वारा किया गया थोड़ा सा प्रयास प्रकृति को, पर्यावरण को बहुत मदद करता है।
Prime Minister Modi said this time of crisis has also given an opportunity to remember the forgotten games that we used to play in our childhood. He asked elders to share their childhood stories and traditional games with children so that these games can be passed on to the new generation. Bureau Report, DD India.
Union Information Broadcasting Minister Prasar Bharati has said that in this edition of Man Ki Baat, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has assured the people of taking into consideration events and challenges that are being faced by the country. The PM has also paid tribute to brave soldiers of the country. Along with this, he gave a unique example of public participation in the field of environment as well.
मन की बात अब पूरा देश ध्यान से सुनता है और आज तो घटनाओं के और चुनौतियों के पृष्ठभूमि पर उन्हें जनता को एक विश्वास दिलाया कि 2020 में नई चुनौतियां आई, अनेक संकट आए, लेकिन इसके लिए ये साल खराब नहीं होगा। ये वर्ष भी नई दिशा देगा भारत को और 130 करोड़ लोगों के जनसहभागिता से इन चुनौतियों को हम पार करेंगे और ये साल भी एक कामयाब साल बनाएंगे। तो ये विश्वास जगाना बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है और उन्होंने उसके साथ जिस तरह से अपने वीर जवानों को श्रद्धांजलि भी दी, पीवी नरसिंह राव जी के जीवन पर भी उन्होंने बात की, तो और बाकी घर में कैसे समय बिताए इसके बारे में जो बताया, ये बेहद ही लोगों को अच्छा लगा है और इसलिए ये मन की बात एक महत्वपूर्ण कम्युनिकेशन का आधार बना है। देश के मुखिया और देशवासी, इनका सीधा नाता इससे स्थापित हुआ है।
And people in Mirum village in East Siang district of Arunachal Pradesh were elated while listening to Prime Minister's Man Ki Baat radio broadcast on Sunday. The PM had appreciated the village's efforts of constructing isolated quarantine huts for people of the village returning from outside the state. Each segment built 2 huts and separate toilets with local resources available in the area. And to add to it, every individual of the village also actively participated in the construction work.
प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी का ये मन की बात सुन के हम लोग को बहुत खुशी लगा है। तो इसमें मेरे उनका क्वारंटाइन बनाने का कहानी भी मतलब उसने दिखा दिया है यहाँ रेडियो में। तो एक्चुअली हम लोग ये क्वारंटाइन को इसलिए बनाया कि हम लोग का कोविड-19 जो है अभी जोरदार फैल गया है। हम लोग का जगह में और ऑल इंडिया में भी। तो इसमें हम लोग बाहर से आने वाला लोग को रखने के लिए और बीमार वाला को भी रखने के लिए वो लोग हम लोग बोले हैं और इसको बीएससीओ और हम लोग का बस्ती वाला सब मिलके इसको शुरू कर दिया है।
And Union Home Minister Amit Shah, in an exclusive interview to a news agency, has said India will win the battle against both the challenges of COVID-19 and China under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He also attacked Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, saying it's for the Congress to reflect upon how Pakistan and China are amplifying their leaders' statements. The Home Minister also refuted all speculation related to community transmission of COVID-19 in the national capital.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has assured that under leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India will be victorious on both fronts, COVID pandemic and China. Speaking to a news agency, Amit Shah spoke on a number of key issues.
मैं एक बात स्पष्ट कर दूं, दोनों जंग हम जीतेंगे और जनता को आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में दोनों जंग जीतेंगे.
Amit Shah said Centre is capable of dealing with anti-India propaganda. Reacting to statements by Rahul Gandhi over the China issue, Amit Shah said the Congress leader is indulging in cheap politics. Congress party needs to think how their leaders' comments are being used by China and Pakistan.
कोरोना के खिलाफ भारत सरकार ढंग से लड़ी है. मैं राहुल जी को एडवाइस नहीं दे सकता. उनको एडवाइस देने का काम उनकी पार्टी के नेताओं का है. और मैंने पहले भी कई इंटरव्यू में कहा कि कुछ वक्रदृष्टा लोग होते हैं, उनको सीधी बात भी वक्र दिखाई पड़ती है. जहां तक कोरोना की लड़ाई का सवाल है, भारत सरकार ने ये लड़ाई ढंग से लड़ी है.
Amit Shah is leading the efforts to tackle the COVID challenge in Delhi. He elaborated on the steps taken to deal with the pandemic in the national capital. He assured that Delhi is now in a better position to manage the infection outbreak. He said Prime Minister himself is closely monitoring the situation.
देश का प्रधानमंत्री आपकी हर चीज की चिंता कर रहा है, पल पल की जानकारी उनको मिल रही है, वो सामने से भी इसकी परीक्षा करें. इसलिए कृपया पैनिक में मत आइए और प्रधानमंत्री जी के बहुत स्पष्ट निर्देश हैं कि दिल्ली को इस संकट से बाहर निकालना है.
Home Minister clarified that there is no community transmission of the disease in Delhi. Responding to the statement by Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia, he said the scenario of over 5.5 lakh COVID patients in the national capital by 31st July will not come.
अभी ये स्थिति दिल्ली में नहीं आई है. ऐसी स्थिति इसलिए दिखाई देती थी क्योंकि करे हुए टेस्टों में 30% पॉजिटिव आते थे, मगर वो इसलिए आते थे कि आप अंतिम समय में ही टेस्ट में ले जाते थे. अब जब हम 20,000 टेस्ट करने लगे तो ये स्थिति नहीं है.
Home Minister Amit Shah said a number of effective measures have been taken in the past couple of weeks to boost COVID testing, tracing and treatment in Delhi. Testing has increased 4.5 times. Chain of command has been made clear. Treatment is affordable in private hospitals. Hospital beds have been increased from 10,000 to 30,000 beds.
30 जून तक हमने 30,000 बेड बन जाएंगे. रेलवे कोचिस के अंदर 8,000 बेड बने और 8,000 की तैयारी है, मगर मैं अभी 8,000 ही गिन रहा हूँ. DRDO एक एक्सक्लूसिव कोविड अस्पताल बना रही जिसमें 250 ICU बेड भी होंगे, विथ वेंटिलेटर होंगे, वो अलग से बने हैं. और 10,000 का ITBP संचालित राधा स्वामी सत्संग न्यास के बड़े कैंपस के अंदर बारिश की सीजन को ध्यान में रखकर हमने बेड बनाए हैं. इसको ITBP संचालित करने वाली.
In the 45-minute-long interview, Home Minister discussed the plan to deal with the challenge of COVID pandemic and the role of better coordination between the centre and the Delhi government. With Sudhakar Das, News Night Desk, DD India.
And the battle against the coronavirus pandemic is being intensified throughout the country. Mumbai's Chase the Virus campaign, which has registered early success, now is being taken statewide, even as the state government announced an extended lockdown beyond the 30th of June. Different methods are being adopted by governments and even trader bodies to combat the situation, be it in Karnataka or, for that matter, Assam and Manipur in the northeast as well. Take a look.
The entire country is going through Unlock 1.0 in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic. The Maharashtra government has now made it clear that the statewide lockdown will be extended beyond the 30th of June. There will be some relaxations to let economic activity pick up pace. After getting positive results from the Chase the Virus campaign in Mumbai, it will be replicated in other parts of the state as well. Under this campaign, 15 close contacts of every COVID-positive person have to be kept in institutional quarantine. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray has also appealed to all those who have recovered from the infection to donate their plasma to intensify the battle against the disease. The efforts made by the state government and the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Corporation to get the pandemic under control in Asia's largest slum, Dharavi, appeared to be bearing fruit. COVID-positive cases have been traced proactively in mission mode and their contacts have been tracked aggressively. Union Health Ministry has also acknowledged the effectiveness of these methods.
यहाँ पे तो कोई ऑप्शन था ही नहीं, क्योंकि घर में कैसे होम क्वारंटाइन करेंगे, एक रूम में अगर 10-15 लोग सो रहे होंगे। तो फिर हमने जितने भी स्कूल से, कॉलेजेस से, जितने स्पोर्ट्स कॉम्प्लेक्स है या फिर मैरिज हॉल है, होटल से, लॉजेस, सबको एक्वायर करना शुरू किया।
Using mobile vans and other means, 14,970 persons have been screened in Dharavi, and BMC health workers have surveyed 4,76,775 people, setting a record of sorts. Speaking of other states, Assam government has once again imposed a lockdown. From 7 p.m. on Sunday, a complete lockdown has been enforced in Guwahati for 14 days. The initial few days of the lockdown will also see restrictions being imposed on shops selling vegetables and other essentials. In Telangana, traders in Hyderabad's biggest wholesale market, Begum Bazaar, have decided to shut shop for 8 days starting Sunday. The traders said the step has been taken as a precautionary measure. Looking at the surge in COVID cases in Karnataka, the state government has announced that from the 5th of July, a complete lockdown will be imposed in the state every Sunday. The order will remain in place until further orders. Curfew will also be imposed from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., which will be imposed from Monday. In Tamil Nadu, state capital Chennai, a lockdown has been in place for 12 days from the 19th of June. The Madurai administration has announced a complete lockdown from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. starting Monday. People will be allowed to move out to buy essentials like milk, medicines, or visit hospitals. And the state government in Manipur has extended the lockdown till the 15th of July. In Haryana's Gurugram, which adjoins the national capital Delhi, shopping malls are set to reopen from the 1st of July after remaining shuttered for over 3 months. But those operating malls and shops within will have to follow a strict protocol to ensure safety of visitors. The Haryana government had given permission to all malls in the state to reopen on the 7th of June, except for those in Gurugram and Faridabad, as both these districts have the highest number of COVID cases in Haryana. Newsnight Desk, DD India.
So that's how things stand as far as the situation nationwide is concerned, and it's different from different areas. But if you look at the overall picture, you do see some positive trends emerging. You look at this over here. If you look at how the data is now filtering across, you'll make out how things are changing, perhaps turning towards the positive as well over here. Look at the nationwide situation, where active cases are 2,03,051 and the recovered cases are now far beyond, over 1,06,661 beyond the active cases. So that's where a very positive story is being scripted. Now, if you look further, if you go further on and look at the data that is coming through, if you look at the last 24 hours, this is for the 27th of June, the recovery rate is 69.48%, because there is a difference now in the patients recovered and new patients. That's where some other positive trends also seem to be emerging. Again, if you look at the nationwide situation, that's the total cases so far, 5,12,763. These are the recovered cases, 3,09,712, and the recovery rate now stands at 58.56%, steadily climbing through the days and weeks now, and this has been a sustained sort of a trend. Again, at the nationwide situation, if you look at that, you have a larger portion of recovered cases from the total cases. The active cases are more than 1 lakh below the recovered cases, which is why you have this particular recovery rate of 58.56%. Further on, If you look at the nationwide situation, 2.3 lakh samples are being tested per day now. There were just 3 labs in the country, the entire country, when we started off. There are over 1,000 now. 82.28 lakh samples have been tested so far in total. That's a pretty big number. Recovery rate is better than the national average in 10 states and union territories. That's also something that one can take heart from. 1,036 labs have been conducting tests nationwide, which is why the numbers of overall testing per day is also climbing. 8.34 lakh, beg your pardon, there's a figure missing there, bit of a data missing there, and 9,519 COVID care centers have also been set up. There are 410 fatalities that have taken place in the last 24 hours. And if you look at the data that is coming in for Delhi today itself, now this is something that has emerged today. It may develop into a trend, but there were 2,889 new cases. Look at the next figure, 3,306 recovered cases in Delhi. This is a fairly positive indication. It's a bit of a one-off right now, but it might sustain into a trend if we keep battling this disease successfully, particularly in the national capital. We'll be talking about the entire nationwide experience with our special guests in just a bit. Stay with Newsnight.